Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of The Professor's Picks. It's Friday. The Professor is here, Mr. Ken Golden. What's going on?
Hey, I am back after 2 weeks. So last week it wasn't really that much, and we were very focused on Dream Theater. So I said, we'll take a little break, and
And in that time period, lots of stuff has come in, no
a
doubt.
lot of stuff. This might be a marathon. This is gonna be a long. I think this is gonna be a long one. So, but yeah, so the dust has settled, and we are. We're seeing the light of day now. Dream Theater is a little bit in our rearview mirror. Yeah, we're still, believe me, you can see we got a box set still over there that'll probably be gone by the time this airs, but that's the last box set maybe on the planet. And yeah, so still, still going strong, but at least we could focus on other releases.
There you
So
go. All right,
a lot of good
lay
stuff.
them on us. Lay them
All
on us.
right, let's start. Let's get into it. We're going to start with one pre-order this week. Benthos From Within. This is coming on CD and clear and black marble vinyl. It comes out April 11th. Who's Benthos? Benthos is an Italian prog metal band that got signed to Inside Out. Very, very good album. It was strange. Their first album was called Benthos 2, and we sold it. And very, very good. And it's kind of aggressive, got a little bit of a it's a mixture of clean and kind of aggressive coarse vocals. I don't want to necessarily call it like death growls, but you know
You
but
call
it's
that stuff rough.
yeah, rough. Yeah, it's like a mix, and the clean vocals were pretty good. I haven't heard this one yet, and as I remember from the previous one, the singer, when he's singing clean, he sounded a little bit like Ross Jennings from Haken, but music's very, very good. Very Glenn Harveston turned me on to this band, and it was funny because with the previous album, it was only available digitally, and I know the label Eclipse Records in New Jersey. I know Chris Poland, different Chris Poland than the Megadeth's Chris Poland, and Chris was handling the digital side. Chris, is there any CDs? And he said, "Well, let me ask the band." And the band was excited. They said they'll make them for me. So they did. They pressed up like 500 CDs, and we brought it in, and we did pretty well with it. And I was surprised to see that they signed with Inside Out. And so April 11th, something new. Inside Out, I, I it's under embargo. All this is under embargo, but I can tell you, Inside Out. I've seen the schedule. They've got a lot of new bands coming out.
Yeah, that's I was chatting with Roy the other day and he was telling me they have a lot on the schedule for this year and some pretty cool stuff. So
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they come through. So there we go. All right, let's hit the regular CD stock. We talked about this last time. This is the new Avatarium, Between You, God, the Devil, and the Dead.
is that in stock like right now?
I got it. You want one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they came in. And it was weird. We got the earbooks we had. We still have one earbook floating around. We had those in the last 2 weeks ago. For some reason there was some gap. And so in fact we had the vinyl as well. I'll get to that later. But yeah, it's very nice looking. It's really good.
What's that, like a jewel case slipbook or something like
It's
that?
yeah, it's like a slip. It's let me see. You want to see one
Or a
second?
digi slipcase, something like
I
that?
got it right here. And of course, everybody else see it backwards. Yeah, it's nice. It's in a
Oh, okay, cool.
silver slipcase. Very nice. Nice packaging. So kind of doomy, great female vocals. I think she's sexy as fuck, but that's just me, you know. And really, really good band.
Yeah. Yeah, I love all their albums. They're real. I've been into them since they first came out. I'm a big Candlemass fan, so of course when Leaf put that band together, I was like, "Oh, this is
Yep.
great! Very epic sounding, kind of like Rainbow Rising-ish." And he's no longer really involved, but
No, I don't think so.
still great.
Yeah. Really, really, very consistent. Really
Yeah.
good. So Bumblefoot, Bumblefoot returns. So after some pizza, I should have put up the picture of us having pizza. Ron,
I saw it.
Bumblefoot, and his lovely wife Jen, my lovely wife Lauren, and we went for pizza at Papa's Tomato Pies, and Ron brought me the disc. And this is his first instrumental solo album in, I think, 30 years. And I think this thing is fantastic. I mean, I love Ron. I love his playing. I love him in Whom God Destroys, Sons of Apollo, whatever he's doing, I'm in. But he's got a lot of cool guests on this. He's got Brian May on here. He's got Steve Vai, Guthrie Govan, Derek Sherinian, of course. And man, it's just killing. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing it.
yeah. So did your copy show up? Did your package show up?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I got one. I haven't opened it, but it's downstairs. Yeah.
It's in there. Okay. Next thing, an oldie but a goodie. You tell me more than I. This got reissued. Cacophony, Marty Friedman, Jason Becker, classic. I guess I don't know. Not thrash to me, but very progressive.
It's kind of instrumental speed metal. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've had that on vinyl back in the day. I haven't owned that in years. Set one aside for me.
you got it. I'll make a note.
Yeah.
I'm writing.
I have a feeling this is going to be an expensive episode for me.
See what people don't understand. I don't do this show for everybody else to see it. I just do it so I could sell you stuff.
And it always works.
That's the only reason for doing the show.
It always works.
All right. The next one, this one may be one. If you don't have it, I think you're going to want this. Norman Connors, Dance of Magic, Dark of Light. So let me pull up all my info on this. So Norman Connors, excellent drummer who evolved into an R&B star. But he used to play with Pharoah Sanders. And this is a reissue. It's 2 albums on 1 CD that he put out for Cobblestone Records, which was a subsidiary of Buddha, very early 70s. And the lineup is ridiculous. Dance of Magic, the first album, that's got Norman Connors on drums, Gary Bartz on alto and soprano sax, Herbie Hancock on electric piano, Carlos Garnett on tenor and soprano sax, Stanley Clark on bass, Art Webb on flute, Eddie Henderson on trumpet, Alphonse Mouzona's on there, Billy Hart's on there, Airto's on there, everybody's on there. I mean, it's great. And there's a lot of flute on there. It's very, very good. Opens up with a sidelong 21-minute track. You wouldn't really call it jazz rock. It's got like that electric jazz component mixed with like spiritual jazz. Could have been released on like Strata East or the Black Jazz label. It's really cool. The second album, Dark of Light, basically like the same thing, but it also has Buster Williams on bass and Ted Dunbar on electric and acoustic guitar. And I think if you don't have it,
I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna need that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, really good. And by the way, I should mention if you're a vinyl collector, you find those 2 albums in the wild all the time, not very expensive. 10, $15, something like that. And they actually changed the cover art. I like these better, but they changed the cover art for them later on when they got reissued. And he's looking a little fruity on the later ones. But he put out 2 more albums that were pretty good. Not quite as good as this, but pretty good. And then he just he morphed into this like R&B star. A lot of those guys did, you forget like George Duke, right? George Duke, late 70s, he was putting out some real crap.
I mean, look at George Benson. Look at how he started, and then what
Right.
He became an international superstar playing R&B.
Oh yeah, you listen, like you listen to those early CTI albums that George Benson was on.
Great.
He's killing.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, he's playing where he's playing with Freddie Hubbard. Oh my God. I think was it Red Clay? I think he's on. I don't know. He's killing.
Yeah.
So anyway, I digress. Next, what do we got? This was a request of one of my customers. Chick Corea Electric Band 2, Paint the World. Yeah, I don't know. We've been restocking some of those Electric Band albums, and I was requested to bring it in, so I for a quantity of
Good album. It's a
it.
good
Okay.
album.
From Japan, this one I know, I think you have
I
Dissolve,
did.
Asterism, Japanese fusion band. I mean,
Really good.
I know George loves them, right?
Yep.
And from my understanding is their earlier albums, yeah, were a little. I was told like their earlier albums were kind of like smooth. And
I've only heard this one. It's really good. Yeah, I haven't heard anything of those stuff.
who would you compare them to?
I don't know. They don't really sound like anybody else.
Yeah,
They've got a really unique sound. They're very melodic. The playing is fiery, but it's not showy. Like it's not like Fragile or any of that kind of stuff. It's very different. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I compare them to anybody. It's
Japanese import. It's expensive, but it is what it is. So and I should give you a warning. At some point in the future, we have a huge shipment coming from Japan, and there's going to be some mind-blowing stuff in there. And it won't be cheap, but there's going to be a lot of good stuff in there, some mind-blowing stuff. So that's further on down the road. Let's see. All right, next, some of you may have heard of this band, Dream Theater, Parasomnia. We we have the CD in stock. We still have the art book in stock. It's beautiful. It's heavy. It'll hurt people. As you can see from over my shoulder, as of the recording, we have one box set left. It'll probably be gone by the time you see this. But there it is. And you gave it a pretty good review.
I did. I like it a lot.
So
Like it a lot.
that seems to be the consensus so far.
Yeah, I mean, there's the haters out there, don't like
Well,
anything that they do anymore and blah blah blah. But I think it's great. It's heavy like Train of Thought, which I love, and Mike sounds great on it.
I've
It's
been
heavy.
so busy packing
But you
them.
haven't even listened to it, huh?
I heard just the three songs that they had put
Yeah,
out.
it's quite good. I like it a lot.
So I'll hopefully this weekend I'll be able to get to it finally, relax and not have a tape gun in my hand. So the revelation, the 3 inch. We went from 2 inch to 3 inch. What a
Wow.
difference. Game changer, man.
I'm sure it helps a lot, right?
It's a game changer. All right, keep going. Empires of Eden, Guardians of Time. This is Australian band. Stu Marshall, who's I believe the guitarist in Dungeon, and he's got all kinds of guest vocalists. He fancies this as sort of like an Avantasia project, that kind of a thing. So you've got Rob Rock on vocals, Darren Smith, who I forget who Darren Smith is from. I don't know. Do you know who Darren Smith? I forget. Jeff Martin, David Reedman, great singer, David Reedman. Sean Peck and Mike LaPond is on there. John Gallagher from Ravens on there. So it's kind of like this all-star, epic prog thing, power metal thing. It's just not prog. Power metal.
David's such a great vocalist, man. I mean, he's in Voodoo Circle. His Pink Cream 69 stuff is
Yep.
great. That guy can sing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So what was the other band? Started with an A. Dan. And then did Gus Monsanto replace him? Adagio.
Adagio, I get.
Thank you, Jim. Jim has a better memory for this shit than I do. Adagio were great.
Oh yeah,
And as I remember, Reedman was the first vocalist, if I'm not
he was
mistaken.
on that first album. Yeah, I don't remember.
I think so. And he was pretty okay. Next one, what do we got here? Gin Lady. The new Gin Lady is called Before the Dawn of Time. They're now on Ripple Music.
Yep.
So Gin Lady is kind of like what Black Bonzo morphed into. And very different than Black Bonzo, although this particular album, if the cover art isn't giving it away, kind of is moving back into like a 70s psychedelic progressive direction. I mean, hard rock with, prog influences. Great singer.
Their first, yeah, this is an interesting band. Their first album is kind of like Black Bonzo without the big prog bombastic mellotron
Yeah.
and Hammond organ, but still it's
Yeah.
cut from the same cloth. Then their
Yeah.
last couple of albums have been like Rolling Stonesy. Very good.
Exactly.
Very good. But
That's
just
what I
not Black Bonzo, not even
Yeah,
close.
I could, that's what I could sort of compare them to like the Rolling Stones. They were like a good, like classic rock and roll band,
Yeah.
but this one is going back to the original sound, and listen, it's very very good.
Well, they're on a great label now. I mean, Ripple. In fact, I have that down that just came in because I ordered a couple things from Ripple. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I like all their albums.
Yeah,
Really good band.
yeah, good band. I miss Black Bonzo, but yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah. But
Halloween live at Budokan, double CD, German legends at this point, right? Nothing I have to say about that. Just
that's
a
what the current
lot.
lineup of the band, the Halloween
Yeah,
United.
it's brand. Yeah, I don't know when it was recorded, but I think like the last 20, I think maybe 2023 tour or something like that.
Yeah, 2, 3 years ago, something like that.
Okay, this just came in. Have not listened to it yet, except for like one track, Marco Hietala, "Roses from the Deep." Marco Hietala from
Nightwish.
Tarot and Nightwish, and I guess other projects. I know he guested with Elaine as well. Solo album, and he has Tarsha singing on the track.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So
Let's get all the ex Nightwish people together now and form their
yeah,
own, right?
yeah. I saw live footage of a Tarsha show where he came out as a guest, and that was kind of a shock to see.
You know, the scary thing is if they decide to do something permanent together, they could probably even be bigger than Nightwish if they
At
play
this
their
point,
cards right.
yeah, it's probably true. So he's great. He's really great.
Oh, he's amazing. He is really missed in that band by me personally. I think that when he left, kind of the soul of that band left. I mean, they've released some pretty good stuff since he left, but I don't think it's quite the same
Yeah,
personally.
yeah. So yes, so we have and he sings in English on this one. If I'm not mistaken, his last one he sang in Finnish, I believe. So okay. The next one hopefully will be still be on the website by the time everybody sees this. Maybe I hope it's gone. I don't know. Either way, Elvin Jones is on the mountain, and I've I've had this record in my collection for years, and then it got reissued on CD by One Way Records many years ago, and now it's available again from Japan. So, Elvin Jones, one of the greatest of jazz drummers. He was John Coltrane's drummer for years. Um, he's a legend and a little bit of a character, but he recorded this album in 1975 for PM Records, and PM Records is still together, run by Gene Perla, the bass player who plays on this album, and it's a trio session. Elvin Jones on drums, you got Gene Perla on bass, and you have Jan Hammer on keyboards. And man, this thing just absolutely kills. Jan Hammer is killing on this thing. He's playing Moog.
We've been talking a lot about him lately, right?
Yeah, yeah. Jan's like everywhere, right? And there are parts of this that, to me, they sound like outtakes from a National Health album, and I love this record. It's. I think people are kind of caught on. It used to be one you used to find in like the $5 and $10 bins. Starting to get a little pricey, but we have a very nice Japanese CD of it, and it's still in print. So if we sell out, I'm going to do my best to restock it. But we still have copies as we're recording this. And if you're into jazz rock, electric jazz, Jan Hammer, Elvin Jones, I recommend it. He was quite a character. He fancied himself as an actor, and he was in this crazy movie called Zachariah. Uh, and we played like this gunslinger. It's a crazy, nutty movie. I tried watching it once. Like, there are clips of it like on YouTube. And he's like, I think like he wins a shootout or something in a bar, and he does a drum solo. I mean, it was crazy. Anyway,
I've never seen the film, but there's also on the soundtrack, there's a couple of like James Gang
yeah,
tracks.
yeah.
Zachariah sounds they're not
James,
available anywhere else. Yeah.
right? James Gang, they're like the house band or something like
Yeah.
that in the bar. And Elvin Jones does a drum solo in the movie. It's crazy. All right, next we're going to Italy, and this is great. This is the second album from Limite Acqua Secure Un Altra Mano di Carte. Just all I could say, that classic, what they call RPI, rock progressivo Italiano sound. You know, if you're into Bonco, PFM, it's got that sort of classical, ornate flavor to it. Very solid vocals in Italian. Really, really good. Really good. And selling like
I
mad.
like the cover. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Their first album was very good. This, and the thing, the funny thing is, my friend Marco Melzi at Minotaur Records, he released this, and Marco didn't tell me. All of a sudden, I saw it on a release sheet. I'm like, wait, that looks kind of familiar. You know, Minotaur Records. I was on the phone to Italy, Marco. What the fuck, man? So he got moving me real quick, and they're selling really, really good.
Sal, you paying attention, Sal? That's an album for you right there.
I guarantee you, Sal will be before this video is finished. Sal will be listening to it. It's on Spotify, so you can't hear it. Okay, I got two from Majestica, an older one called I'm going to make people nauseous, bouncing back and forth above the sky, and the new one is called Powertrain. So this is a Swedish symphonic power metal band led by guitarist and singer Tommy Johansson. They were originally known as Rainseed, and after a number of albums, they changed their name. I don't know that that's necessarily a good move. I don't know what the reason is. Rainseed used to be, if I remember correctly, used to have like a Christian, used to be like Christian themed music. I don't know about Majestica, but yeah, it's supposed to be a hell of a player. He was in Sabaton for a while. So if you're into your Swedish symphonic power metal, we got two Majestica albums.
There you go.
Next one, Night Flight Orchestra, Give Us the Moon. This was a side project from the guys from I think two of the guys from Soilwork, and it's just pure AOR classic rock. They even add some like disco elements to their music, and these guys are wildly popular.
I will say the Night Flight Orchestra has probably been the number one most suggested band to me over the years that I've never listened to. So many people tell me how much they love them and how great they are and how I would completely love them. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to check them out. And then I just never do.
I think you might like them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that,
Yeah,
yeah. They don't have a ton of albums. I think they only had like what, 5 or 6 albums, I think, something like that.
like that. Yeah. Oh, and Jim, and so Jim, they're Prague Power this year. Yeah, Prague Power this year. So I was saying with Jim, I think at this point they're more popular than Soilwork.
Oh, yeah, they have been for years. Yeah. Although I don't know how many of the original members are still in the band, right? I think they've had a lot of lineup changes, if I
Yeah,
remember.
I think so. I think so. But yeah, I mean, and the videos are pretty crazy, and yeah, it's if you like that sort of like '70s AOR classic rock sound,
Yeah, I've been told if you like Cats in Space, you'll love these guys.
yeah, that's a good comparison. That's a very good comparison. I like that. Yeah. All right, now we're getting a little heavier. New one from Obscura, a
Oh,
Sonication. So you're surprised to see me sound like Obscura, I bet.
yeah, this great band. Great band.
They when I mean I remember when they started out, they were like a technical death metal band. And now I think some of the guys from Cynic, I think Robin Zielhorst, I think he's playing on this. But from what I understand, that proggy element is kind of dissipated a bit, or diminished, and it's more of a melodic death metal. That's what everybody's describing it.
Their last one was still pretty technical and crazy. I thought the last one was great, but
Yeah, crazy players.
oh yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
All right, new one. Pattern seeking animals, a friend of all creatures. And this is basically a parallel band to Spock's Beard. It's main guy, I think John Bogenhold, I think is his name, who was doing like songwriting for Spock's Beard. And so he kind of stole the Spock's Beard guys away. And I think he's doing like all the writing for this. It's not every guy from Spock's Beard, but it's
Yeah.
almost every guy from Spock's Beard. And kind of cut from the same cloth, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's good. Solid stuff here.
Yeah. Very popular. We
Yeah.
sell a lot of Tennessee Gallons. Next, Joe Satriani, Eric Johnson, Steve Vai, G3 Reunion Live. So this is a double CD live from, I guess it was 2023 tour, I think it was, right? It was a 25th, it was a 25th anniversary tour. I should have notes and I don't have any notes, but it's what you expect of this, right? Okay, the next two, a little bit of an explanation. I had in previous weeks, I had a CD by T and Company called Spanish Flower, and that was part of a trilogy, the first of a trilogy. The next two are Sonnet and Dragon Garden. And so what it was in Japan, it was the Three Blind Mice jazz label, audiophile jazz label by guy's nickname was T Fuji. He was the mastermind behind Three Blind Mice. And what he did was he set up these jam sessions with the musicians from the label and for his label and long tracks, kind of electric jazz, gets a little free in spots. There's like a spiritual quality to it, and as you would expect from this label, just incredible sound. And I think you just got those two from me.
Yep. They're sitting
So
downstairs.
you had the first one. They're
Yep,
very
yeah, the first one's great. Yeah.
yeah, they're all three. So it's so and the first one, Spanish Flower, I have it on order. Well, and what'll probably happen is that'll come back as soon as I sell out of these two. So thereby screwing everybody up, right? All right. The next one, Thunder Mother, Dirty and Divine, Australian all-female. So I guess you call it a classic rock sound, kind of influenced by AC/DC. And if you don't like it, it's Jim's fault, right, Jim? Always his fault, right? So, yeah. Something a little different from us. The next four are from I think they're Hungarian. They may be Romanian. Uh, Band called Yesterdays. And I have four releases by these guys. They are a symphonic prog rock band with the name Yesterdays. You know what to expect there. They have a female vocalist. I think on the newest one, the brand new one is The Little Prince and Other Stories Live. It's a live album. I think they have a different female vocalist on that one. Singing Hungarian. These guys can play really good. The guitar player, he sounds so much like Steve Howe. Totally, it's scary. Uh, Long tracks, terrible cover. Isn't that a terrible cover? It's
Yeah.
terrible. It's pretty bad. But the other ones, those are kind of simple. It's your back catalog, and that they've reissued with bonus tracks, and they did it in coordination with this new live album. And I played the live album. It's pretty hot. It's pretty tasty. So that's what we have for new CDs for the week. Let me just hit the restocks, then we'll get into the vinyl. So quickly, I got back in the Analog Productions 45 RPM of A Trick of the Tail. This is, without question, in my mind at least, the definitive version of A Trick of the Tail. I run into problems every time. Better than as I mentioned in my listening room episode, I compared it to the Mobile Fidelity version from years ago, which was always sort of like the gold standard, and this kicked its ass. Cut at 45, so you got to get your old ass up every 10 minutes and flip sides, but it's well worth it. It just sounds great. Beautiful packaging, expensive. I highly recommend. Got in some restocks from the great Masabumi Kikuchi. We got in Busan. We got in Reconfirmation. We got in End for the Beginning. And from what I can tell, these are now out of print. So if you have a hole in the collection, your Kikuchi collection, now's the time to fill the hole, because
I got all of them. They're worth getting, folks.
yeah, they're great. And yeah, that's maybe 5 years from now they'll reissue it again, but they come and go. So that's what we have in like the CD department, the restocks. We'll hit the vinyl, and then we're out of here. Okay, this one is a this kicked my ass. Arcane. So Arcane, known, learned. I released this album outside of Australia on CD many years ago, and for me, this is one of the greatest prog metal albums of all. Jim Gray, who's in Caligula's Horse, was the vocalist. He was Arcane existed at parallel to Caligula's Horse, and then Jim decided to do Caligula's Horse full time. Arcane went away. Phenomenal album. Got a little bit of a Tool album, Tool feel to it in spots. One of the great vocal performances. So the Australian label Bird's Robe, they contacted me about a year ago and said, "We're going to put this out as a triple album." And I said, "You're crazy." And I said, "Really?" They said, "Yeah." So I mean, it's an absolute labor of love, and it's kind of pricey. I have it on black vinyl, only 100 copies, and it's just a magnificent album. And the way they did it was interesting. It's three separate albums, so we sell it as a set, and to get to get the whole thing. And man, I love it. It is an absolute labor of love. And these guys were. I'm crazy. These guys were crazier than me. I'm glad they did it, and I've got a set, and I'm happy to sell it and turn people onto it because it's a great record. Um, Next, as I mentioned before, Avatarium, Between You, God, the Devil, and the Dead. Had this last time on CD, The Blackbirds, No Destination, German beat, kind of like Beat Psych from late 60s. Got like a Yardbirds feel to it, and Animals, if you're into that kind of a thing. They got more progressive as the years went on, but on the next release, but this was a little different. Bumblefoot. Oh, I can't describe. Ron showed me the vinyl. The vinyl's weird, man. It's clear, but it's got like the stuff that you see on the cover. I think it's like embedded, like in the vinyl also. It's. I didn't know how to describe it, so I didn't. So just a two LP set on this.
Yeah, some of these vinyls that have been coming in, just like the colors and all, it's crazy. Crazy
Crazy. Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
they're getting more advanced as far as what they could do with that stuff now.
yeah.
So I think they've gotten far beyond the old picture disc. I'll never forget. Remember those? I remember
Oh,
Frampton. I remember Frampton Comes Alive, and when the stylus, when the needle would pass over Peter's face, like the sound would change. They were terrible. They were shitty sounding for us. Really bad.
not anymore.
Yeah. All right. Dream Theater. While we got them, we still have two LP. We have ultra clear vinyl, and we have the blue, deep blue vinyl. I think it's called. Not
Yeah, I think what they sent me was the ultra clear. It's
yeah,
pretty cool looking. Yeah.
yeah. They don't have a tremendous amount left, but hopefully I'll be able. I think ultra clear is still around. The blue I had to bring in from Germany, so we'll see where that goes. Next, we have a reissue of an old Inside Out album from Kino, Radio Voltaire,
Wow.
two, two LP blue vinyl. Kino was Peter Cuevas from Marillion and John Mitchell from like a million bands and Lonely
Forgot about
Robot.
those guys. Man, I haven't heard that name in ages.
Yeah, so this edition is on blue vinyl. We got Night Flight Orchestra, one of the great German albums. If you don't have this in your collection, shame on you. Novalis, Spanish Bridge. This is on colored vinyl. They haven't specified what color. So Novalis, one of the great German prog bands of the 70s, symphonic, classically influenced band. This is their first album. This is the only album they put out that had English vocals. So if like them singing in German was like a hang up for you and you never explored the band, you got this one. And this is a great record.
Yeah, their other albums are great though, musically. It's,
Yes.
really
And
good.
yeah, the German vocals are a little,
Yeah, not for everybody.
it's not for everybody, but the music was always great. And this is a great early. Pattern Seeking Animals Friend of All Creatures. I believe we just have the black vinyl. And then we have the Satriani, yeah, Johnson, Vi,
It's called G3.
G3,
It's easier.
G3, I just call it G3, yeah. Reunion Live. This is a 4 LP set.
Wow. Well, you got sets from all three of them, and then you got the jam set, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't like it, man, it's heavy. You could hurt somebody with it. So that's and that's what I got this week. I'm holding out on you. I got stuff for next week.
Oh, well, yeah, you don't want to
I
blow
don't
your
want to,
wad all in one shot,
no,
right?
I don't want to tip my hand. And actually, next week we're probably gonna have a lot of restocks and stuff. And so there's a lot of cool. There's always something.
Cool. What's buy or die out of this?
For me, I love that Elvin Jones album so much. That's really great. And the Italian, the Limite Acqua Securi, that's that's real killer. If you don't mind shelling out the bucks, I only made one pass on it. The Dissolve, I thought it was good. So,
Yeah, I like that a lot.
but yeah,
I
so
will be doing a separate review of that probably over the next week. So,
okay.
so if you still have them in stock, and they see the review, hopefully they'll come and
Yeah,
purchase them
yeah.
then. So cool.
I can't wait to get your reaction to the Elvin Jones.
Yeah, I'm gonna go crack that box open
When you
soon.
hear the title track, man, it's something like right out of like of Q's and Cures.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's really
Okay.
good. Yeah,
This is great stuff.
yeah. So
So we'll have, as always, everybody, it's lasercd.com is the URL. I will have the entire list. It's a big one. Pinned down in the comments. So for all you copy and pasters, that's the easiest way to go find stuff. Although I would think most of this stuff is right on your main page anyway. But
yeah, it's all up there.
sometimes
Yeah,
it's easier, you've already heard the explanation. You go and you find it, you copy, you paste, search, and boom, there it is. So I know that's easier for some people. I get it. So, but yeah, happy shopping, everybody. And as we always say,
buy a lot, buy often,
here we go. And
please.
we also always say, this is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please hit that like button, guys. Please hit it. It's very important. YouTube loves it because the more you hit the like button, the more they're going to send this video out to people who don't regularly watch. That's what we want, right? New customers for Ken, new viewers for us.
Yes,
Win-win. Win-win.
do it, do it.
So, yeah. So enjoy your weekend, everybody. Coming up, we've got the UK Connection coming up tomorrow, ranking the albums of Omen on Sunday. And oh, next week is in the prog scene. 50th anniversary of Fly By Night and Caress of Steel by Rush. That's what we're talking about. So join us on Tuesday for that and more coming up here in SOT. For Ken Golden, I am Pete Pardo. Enjoy your weekend. Happy shopping, everyone. We'll see you back here with the professor's picks next week. Take care.
Take care.